Hey, it's me, AP, aka Mr. Movie Cheer, and welcome back to another edition of Movie Stack and a Chat. And this stack I'm going to be talking about today is a fun stack of movies. So I've got 6 movies I want to discuss. I basically just grabbed a stack of movies from the movie collection behind me, and I thought let's just talk about them. A bit of a chilled out chat, as these always go on Movie Stack and a Chat, and just talk about watching these movies, why I enjoy them. So let's start off here with, I don't think I've ever talked about this movie on the channel before, but it is Old School. Really, a really fun movie starring Luke Wilson, Will Ferrell, and Vince Vaughn. This came out like early 2000s, it's got to be like 2003. And basically, this movie was, it was basically it's these 3 guys. The one, Luke Wilson's character, he gets this property, and then it's on a college campus. To keep the property, they've got to start their own fraternity in America. And basically they're like these 3 middle-aged guys, and they get all these college young guys going into this fraternity, and then they get older guys as well. And they get all these, they become like famous in the local community for starting this fraternity. And then like the guy who's like the dean of this university, this college in America, tries to. It's the guy who, the guy's name? The guy is in Entourage, the villain of the piece. Was it Jeremy Piven? Is that his name? The guy who's in Entourage. He is plays this dean character, this like villainous character who wants to get them off campus, and they has to basically go through these school trials and like do tests, do all these silly things. It's a very funny movie. I think for me, this is probably one of the first movies I kind of like was introduced to Will Ferrell. And I'm a big fan of Will Ferrell. I think he's a very funny guy. And in this movie, there's some fantastic Will Ferrell scenes in this. In particular, the one where he he gets drunk on this party they do, and then he goes streaking throughout the local town, and his wife ends up pulling up beside with all her friends in the car. He's just absolutely blotto. But it's a very fun movie, well worth checking out. I think if you like stuff like American Pie, you would definitely like Old School. Next up is, I hear this movie and this series in general gets a bit of stick. Some people don't like it, I've heard. I really enjoy it, I'll be honest with you. Despicable Me. Is this my favourite one? Probably not. I think one of the new ones, The Rise of Gru, which was like you have like Steve Carell playing the young version of Gru, and it's like how he became with the Minions. That one's probably my favourite, but I like the first Despicable Me. I think they're all really fun movies. I love animated movies anyway. I've always been a big fan of animated movies. But yeah, I really like this one. I think the Minions are fun. Initially, because I never watched it for years, and I remember getting like the DVD and watching it, and they always reminded me before watching the movie. I always thought the Minions looked ridiculous, and they sounded to me like, do you know in Toy Story, the little aliens where they go, the claw? And they always reminded me, for some reason, of them little aliens in that. But I think watching it then, I'm like, oh, these are actually more funnier than them. They're actually quite funny. They're like the little personalities of the different Minions, and it's very goofy. It's really very childish, I suppose, at the time. A lot like fart jokes and stuff like that with some of the Minions. But I think it's funny. I think that just movies you can chill out to and just enjoy. They're fun, the fun family movies. I like them. But yeah, I think The Rise of Gru is a really decent one as well. But they're really cracking movies. Next up, I want to get to this one. Eddie Murphy in Coming to America. This is the first of 2 Eddie Murphy's movies in this one. Coming to America. Oh man, this is such a great movie. Watched this for years now. Since childhood, I've always been a fan of Eddie Murphy. Coming to America. He's like this king in it says a very wealthy and pampered African prince who comes to America in search of a bride. So he's like this, super privileged prince in Africa, and he comes to America to meet his bride because he wants to, meet an American bride. And then him and his friend What's his name? It's Arsenio Hall. He's very funny in this as well. They go there and they want to like live poor. They want to live like real people, and they live there and they try and meet women and stuff like that. And it's just it just sets up a load of great comedy moments. I think Eddie Murphy, this is prime Eddie Murphy, this era. It's a solid movie, and I think, like I said, Arsenio Hall is very funny in this as well. I think he's a cracking, I'd say like side actor, but I think they're equally both as good in this. I think they're both really funny, the pair of them in this. It's like a duo more as well at times. So I think it's a really funny movie coming to America. I never really took to the sequel. For me, it was very forgettable. There wasn't much going on in that, but it's got a really great cast. You've got Eddie Murphy, James Earl Jones is in this. It's a really, and look, the music score, which I never knew this, Nile Rodgers from Chic, he did the score for this movie. Cracking movie. You can't go wrong with this. Coming to America, beautiful. Do you know what, in this as well, it's got like this thick booklet in this DVD, which is, I have no idea what it's like, the reason for a big thick, it's like advertising loads of different movies. Wow. Yeah, cracking movie. Again, another fun movie. This is what this stack is all about now. Next one, definitely a movie I've discussed many a times on the channel. Some would say it's a Christmas movie. I think it's one of the movies, I can appreciate this and watch this at any point in time. Home Alone 2, probably my favourite in the franchise. I love the Home Alone movies. This one is, for me, why is this so fun? It's the guys, the sticky bandits, the wet bandits, whatever they're called in this one. Those two, Marv and Harry, are hilarious. I think when Macaulay Culkin is just terrorising them and he's like throwing bricks at them, I think Marv is the guy with the bushy hair, isn't he? And Joe Pesci is Harry, I'm pretty sure. Marv is probably the funniest when he's screaming, when you just hear him doing these ridiculous screams where he's being terrorised. And every time, I always think, if you're having a bad day, and you want to cheer yourself up, you got the blues, and you want to cheer yourself up, I think you can put on Home Alone, and you can just have a great laugh, because it's, you know what you're getting with Home Alone, it's, the story. And for me, once it kicks in, it's like that montage music hits in. The montage music hits in for when he's like taking on the burglars, and it's, the music hits in, he's setting up all these traps, and then when they arrive, and then it's just like all in. It's just like probably like 10, 15, 20 minutes of just them two getting terrorised by Kevin, and it is amazing. I love it every time. It always makes me smile, even though I know I've seen it a million times. Every time when Marv is screaming, when they're just getting bricks thrown at them, just getting paint chucked on, they're falling downstairs, it always cracks me up. I think it's really fun. And again, this is why it's in the fun stack. Next up, we go to another Eddie Murphy movie. Now, I thought of this one as well. For me, Beverly Hills Cop, the first one I'm going to talk about, really, it is such a classic movie. From the music, the style, I think the cinematography in this is great. The setting of Beverly Hills, it is amazing. So it's a Detroit cop, Eddie Murphy, Axel Foley is going to Beverly Hills to track down a killer, and he's basically going in this new area. He is a cop, but it's a different setting for him, and it's a really fun movie. Such a fun movie, Beverly Hills Cop. I talk about this as well. I want to talk about it because we've recently had the trailers for the new one, which is coming out on Netflix, I believe this year, 2024, as a film in this. And so the new one, I think it's called Beverly Hills Cop Axel F, which is obviously the name of him. But I think for me, the first one is the best. I like the second one, but for me, I always go back to that first one. I probably couldn't even remember what the second one was all about, because I've always tend to watch the first movie. The third one I've only watched once or twice, and I never got into it. I just couldn't. I was like, this is just not for me. I didn't think it was anything like the other ones. Maybe I need to give it another watch, another try. Be interested to know what you all think about that Beverly Hills Cop 3. But I know the fourth one has been teased for years, and it's been like rumoured for years, and finally we're going to get it. And I think as well, Eddie Murphy still looks great. Probably a guy, maybe in his 60s now. It's a long time since this movie. It's probably like 40 odd years since the original one. So it's a long time, but I do think he still looks great. I think 60 is really young nowadays. So I think I'm really looking forward to seeing him in that. I can't wait to see. It's kind of a bit like, like Lethal Weapon. I kind of feel like with that, I wouldn't want to see that remake, that like sequel, because I feel like they are too old for this. And it's just, I think it's went beyond a certain point with Lethal Weapon now, where I'm like, I do not want to see a sequel to Lethal Weapon as much as I love that series. But with Beverly Hills Cop, I feel like, yeah, I'm quite excited to see that. I'm looking forward to seeing what the sequel comes when it's on Netflix. So looking forward to that. So Beverly Hills Cop, a very fun movie, fun music as well. And last but not least, this is a stack. I don't know whether I've discussed Grease on the show before, but Grease is a movie I absolutely love. If you don't even like musicals, you've got to like Grease, surely. One movie I as a kid, would always watch Grease. I think for the end scene alone is just great. You're the one I want. It's such a great song and a great finish to the film. When you get this Sandy, who's like this, like a very, how would you describe it throughout the movie? Like not a goody two shoes, but a very tamed figure. And then she goes into like this badass in the black lycra and stuff like that at the end. Looking, she's smoking. It's very good. I mean, I just love the ending to it. But the music throughout, Grease Lightning, there's some cracking songs in the. I like obviously the Grease song itself. I think it was I'm pretty sure it was the Bee Gees who wrote the Grease song. I know Frankie Valli sung it from Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, but I'm pretty sure it was the Bee Gees who wrote and produced that song. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain that is the case. But it's a killer song, killer entrance song. I love the intro as well when it's all like the cartoony bits. I think that's really good as well. And I think you can see that in even more modern movies where they've kind of inspired by Grease. But as a movie, I personally do like a musical. I'm not to say it's something I watch all the time, musicals, but put a decent musical on, like a Grease. It's not something I watch all the time now. I used to watch it a lot more as a kid, but something when I'd still watch it, I think just the music alone just makes me go, yes, this is fun. It just cheers me up, and that's what I like. So this is the stack, ladies and gents. It's a fun stack of movies. What's in your fun choice of movies? What's in your fun stack of movies, ladies and gents? If you enjoyed this video today, please do give it a like and leave a comment below of all your thoughts on today's movie choices. Are these some fun choices for you? What are some fun movies in your stack of movies that you like to get out? A big stack of fun movies. What would be in your stack? Let me know all your thoughts, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for watching this video today. Remember to spread a bit of movie cheer, and as always, I will see you next time.